Hi everyone, and welcome to Michelle on the Money. This is all about your money, from consumer to business news in the bi-state. No more food assistance. Come November 1st, the government shutdown will impact 42 million American families, including millions right here in the bi-state. And that is when funding for SNAP benefits runs out. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski talked with a Missouri mom and a local food pantry supplier about their concerns.
About 1.9 million people in Illinois and 650,000 in Missouri are going to have to make some tough decisions for the month of November. They're going to have to decide between food and other bills. And the longer the government shutdown lasts, the more the numbers are going to continue to go up. I talked with a St. Louis County mom, Jennifer Meese, who says she's fully disabled and she receives a disability check that covers the roof over their heads. After paying those bills, she only has $67 left to cover other expenses. So SNAP benefits make a huge difference for them. She and many others are now going to have to turn to other food pantries, and hundreds of them in our area are supplied by the St. Louis Area Food Bank. Erica Kincaid says they're bracing for the increase, and it's important to note the money families already received can still be spent, but after November there won't be any new checks. If you want to help local food pantries, the things they need right now are protein and fruits and vegetables. Reporting in St. Louis, I'm Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
A coalition of Democratic-run states, including Illinois, are suing the Trump administration. They are pushing back against SNAP benefits ending. Democratic attorney generals and governors from 25 states, plus Washington, D.C., are behind this suit. Now, they claim the Trump administration is threatening illegal cuts to SNAP. Despite what's happening in our nation's capital, neighbors are trying to meet the demands of food insecurity right here in the bi-state. Operation Food Search held an emergency food drive this week at the City Foundry. Organizers say 650,000 Missourians and 2 million people in Illinois are going to feel the pinch. The average SNAP recipient receives $350 a month for groceries.
People are really going to be in a critical situation. A lot of them are going to be unable to put food on the table for their kids. Throughout the month of November, there will be Operation Food Search barrels set up throughout City Foundry where people can drop off food.
Several area food banks and organizations are putting together emergency food drives to help with the need. For a full list, you can text the word food to 314-425-5355 and we will send you a link straight to your phone. Now, while SNAP benefits are at risk, we know that Missouri officials are telling us that WIC benefits will still be available in November. The program provides support for mothers, infants, and children. Participants will be notified if benefits are paused late next month. The union representing striking Boeing workers proposed a new deal this week to end the months-long strike. More than 3,200 workers walked off the job back in August, and union members have since rejected 4 contract offers from the company. This new 4-year proposal includes a $10,000 ratification bonus and wage increases throughout the contract period. It does not include higher 401k contributions to help meet Boeing's requests. Union leaders go on to blame the company for dragging out the strike, saying, quote, "The union continues to bargain in good faith to end this strike, but the company's refusal to move beyond rejected proposals is what continues to prolong the strike." Now, we should mention we have reached out to Boeing for comment on the new proposal, but we have yet to hear back. We have better news for people who want to borrow money. For the second time this year, the Federal Reserve has now cut interest rates by a quarter point. The announcement came yesterday afternoon. Economists say the decrease is needed to bolster a struggling job market. Fed officials are making these decisions without the benefit of federal economic data, and that is because of the ongoing government shutdown.
Could be months or years or never. It's very difficult to say how long it would trickle down to where you will feel an immediate impact. Your savings account will be the area that realizes the savings interest go down the quickest because it's tied to those rates the most. But from other perspectives, it will take several months to even years for you to see real impacts.
And Becker says if you have money that's earning interest in a savings account or in a bond portfolio, revisit how the lower rates affect your investment from that perspective. And then if you bought a home recently, it could be a good time to refinance as well. President Trump spent the week in Asia to talk trade, among other things. The president's trip had a high-stakes meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping, his first in 6 years. NBC's Tracy Wilkins reports that the meeting took place moments after the president made a surprise announcement on social media.
President Donald Trump declared he wants to begin testing America's nuclear weapons just before his meeting with China's President Xi Jinping in South Korea, later explaining it wasn't Xi that prompted the announcement.
The meeting.
It had to do with others.
On Truth Social, the president posted the United States has more nuclear weapons than any other country and went on to express concerns that Russia and China will catch up with the U.S. in 5 years. Trump said he wanted the testing to be done on an equal basis with other countries, but did not elaborate on what that would look like. Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen reacting on X, saying, "This directly contradicts the commitments I secured from Trump nominees who've told me explosive nuclear testing would not happen." Returning from South Korea on Air Force One, Trump called the meeting with Xi a success.
I guess on the scale of from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would say the meeting was a 12. Okay, I think it was a 12.
The two leaders discussed fentanyl, the export of China's rare earth minerals, and trade, prompting Trump to lower tariffs on goods from China to 47% from 57%.
It was an outstanding group of decisions, I think, that was made. A lot of decisions were made, too. There wasn't too much left out there.
In Washington, Tracy Wilkins, NBC News.
Now, China also pledged to buy soybeans from the U.S. for the first time this season. It is estimated that China will buy 180,000 metric tons, which is still a pretty small percentage of the nearly 27 million tons of soybeans the U.S. exported to China last year. In the meantime, we know that President Trump is facing some backlash from his own party after suggesting the U.S. import beef from Argentina to lower consumer prices. Last week, the president urged the ranchers to drop beef prices. This after the Bureau of Labor Statistics says that beef prices have increased nearly 15%. Missouri Congressman Mark Alford responded on X, calling the idea, quote, misguided. He says the solution should be rebuilding American herds after years of drought and supporting ranchers at home.
In the 3 years that I've been in Congress here in Missouri, we've gone from 95,000 farms down to 87,000 farms. I stand behind our beef producers here. We do not need more imports from Argentina.
Now, the USDA recently unveiled a new plan to promote American beef, and it includes goals to improve ranching business, expand processing, and also build demand. The U.S. Senate voted to block President Trump's tariffs on Canada. 4 Republicans actually crossed the aisle in supporting the resolution from Democrats. Rand Paul was a co-sponsor, but the resolution is not expected to be taken up by the House. This is, though, the second time lawmakers have tried to stop President Trump's tariffs. On Tuesday, a similar resolution voted to block tariffs on Brazil. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is pushing back on President Trump's tariffs. He has signed an executive order that he declared tariffs imposed by the Trump administration as an agriculture export crisis.
So to all the farmers who may be listening today, Illinois is on your side. The U.S. government should be opening doors for you, not slamming them shut.
The executive order directs state agencies to develop and expand domestic markets for agricultural products. It also boosts funding to provide mental health support for Illinois farming families. Survivors from the May 16 tornado can now get more emotional help. FEMA is now funding counseling services. Those wanting to speak with someone can call the Disaster Distress Helpline. That number is 1-800-985-5990. And those services are offered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can also connect to other resources. Well, let's take a look from Lambert St. Louis International Airport, where soon you will find another option to get to the Pacific Northwest. Alaska Airlines is adding a nonstop flight to Portland, Oregon. The first flights will take off on May 13th and will run 7 days a week until October 2nd. The airline already offers nonstop service from Lambert to Seattle, as well as annual seasonal service to Mexico, Puerto Vallarta between January and April. Just after a national coffee shop chain opened its first location in the Metro East, it is now making moves to open a second shop. According to our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal, Dutch Bros will soon open a location in Fairview Heights. The location will be on North Illinois Street, where the Smoothie King used to be. And if you remember earlier this year, Dutch Bros opened its first location in Troy, Illinois. Days from now, some people will take to the polls, and something that voters will see on the ballot is Proposition S. Rockwood school officials say it is the first time in more than 3 decades that the district has a levy increase on the ballot for teacher and staff salaries. Mercedes McKay sat down with the school superintendent to learn more.
This is all about us working to take care of the people that take care of our kids literally on a daily basis.
1994 was the last time the Rockwood School District asked voters for a levy increase to pay the educators that shape the community's future. That 31-year gap, according to Superintendent Dr. Curtis Kane, put the district in a tough spot.
The best way I can describe this county is that it's a little bit like Cheers in the sense that everybody knows their name. It's a big, small county.
In order to recruit and retain in the competitive market, Dr. Kane says now is the best time to propose a 45-cent levy increase. If approved, Prop S would result in $27 million annually to raise teacher and staff salaries, expand benefits to more employee groups, and hire 2 more school resource officers.
We've engaged in a lot of reflection and really analysis to make sure that this decision is the most appropriate and best fit for our district at this point in time.
The big question, how will this impact your taxes? According to the district's website, on a home with a county appraised value of $400,000, the 45-cent levy increase would cost you about $28 more a month, which is close to $350 a year. That tax would be about $14 more a month for a $200,000 home in the district.
What we want is people to understand where we stand as a school district, where we stand in relationship to other school districts within St. Louis County. And again, people ultimately be informed and then go cast their ballot.
For Dr. Kane, it's not overdue, it's well overdue. And he wants to remind his community that the key is the people.
The people will always be the factor that makes up a school district. And we need to be in a position where we can take care of the folks that take care of our kids.
Now, Dr. Kane says it is important that seniors know that they can utilize that senior tax freeze, which would freeze Rockwood's portion of their tax bill. Election Day is Tuesday, November 4th, and we've got more information on Proposition S on our website, ksdk.com. Just look for this story under the As Seen on TV section. We have a couple of recalls that we want to tell you about. More than 2 million pounds of ready-to-eat pork jerky are being pulled off store shelves because of metal contamination. It's from the Golden Island pork jerky in the Korean barbecue flavor. The jerky was sold at both Costco and Sam's Clubs nationwide, and several people complained about finding pieces of wiry metal. Turns out it was from a conveyor belt. The product has the code M279A, and so far there have been no reports of injuries, but if you are concerned, make sure you contact your doctor. Nearly 5 million pounds of Hormel frozen ready-to-eat chicken thighs and chicken breasts are also being recalled because they too may be contaminated with metal. Those contaminations, have been linked to a conveyor belt. Both Hormel and the pork jerky companies are based near Minneapolis. So far, no word of any related injuries. Halloween is here, and people will be spending more on everything from candy to costumes, thanks to all those tariffs. Todd Strain has the story.
Social media is ablaze with people complaining about the high costs of candy, costumes, and decor, with one person even saying Halloween should be canceled. According to the National Retail Federation, Americans will spend a record $13 billion this year on Halloween. That's about $114 per person. The prices on candy alone are downright scary.
Well, it certainly ain't cheap.
I'm not buying any candy.
It's super expensive.
Way more than it used to be.
So what's behind the high costs? Well, according to the Halloween and Costume Association, chocolate costs are up about 40% due to bad cocoa crops. And nearly 90% of Halloween products contain at least one component made overseas, most in China, where tariffs on shipping are driving up costs.
$195.
Nicole spent $195 on Halloween gear. Axel and Justin spent $50 each on these Teletubby costumes, but they have a plan to make them cost-effective.
If you wear it for 50 years, $1 a year.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's been insane. It's been nonstop. We just had a crazy weekend.
Vivi owns Whips and Furs costume shop in North Park.
We have definitely felt the impacts of tariffs and increase in import costs.
To offset these costs, Vivi did something different. Rather than ordering expensive wholesale costumes to fill the shop, he did this.
We've closed out costume stores that are going out of business. We've dusted the cobwebs off of stuff that's in our storage units. And we've really just tried to provide a variety of options for people this year.
Well, I guess happy Halloween, right? But guess what? We are already moving on to the next holiday. Finally, Clementine's Naughty and Nice Creamery is taking a cue from the Midwest holiday tradition of Christmas cookie exchanges. The 6 new flavors were created by award-winning chefs from around the country, and they include raspberry cheesecake, cranberry vanilla linzer, thick mints, and 7-layer bars. Doesn't that sound so good? The first scoops will be available 1 week from now. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for watching Michelle on the Money. And for more money stories like these, be sure to join me every day on Today in St. Louis starting at 5 a.m. We'll see you again next weekend right here on the 5 Plus app.